one and all to another exciting edition of
Midwest Reviews.
Today we're going to be taking a look at a movie trilogy and a standalone movie that both deal with the element of
Time travel.
Okay, so first we're going to go over movie The Time Machine, which had Guy Pearce.
And also had Mark Addy, aka Roland from A Knight's Tale, or his sitcom series Still Standing.
And to cap it all off, Jeremy Irons. Anyway, this one was a lot better with Guy Pearce because him playing the professor, he actually did it decent. But overall, it was a good story. It was a good adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel. Jeremy Irons, he does excellent at playing a bad guy. Well, and the thing is he actually, you can see there's a tactical genius, there's a method, there's a reason he does what he does. Basically, it's up to Guy Pearce to stop him, so it's up to him to kind of save this one tribe from basically being wiped out. If you want to, I'd definitely check it out because even though it's a movie from 2002, still just as excellent today. And next we're going to move on really quickly through the trilogy of Back to the Future. We're just going to touch on the highlight points of it. I think one of the things I like in the first movie is the opening scene whenever he's riding around the back of the cars on his skateboard.
But I like the one of the sequence in the beginning is I like the of course the amplifier scene because that was pretty cool because he had this massive gigantic amplifier and this little bitty guitar. So, but moving on.
Whenever he travels back to the 50s, and basically he's driving along after he runs into the Peabody's farm.
The way they made it look like he was from the because he was from the future anyways, but they made it look really like alien-like because of the comic book. That comic book was designed specifically for that movie and for that scene.
I think one of my other favorite scenes is whenever he starts rocking out the Johnny B. Good. I don't like when he starts doing like the Jimi Hendrix and all. I mean, I like Jimi Hendrix, but in the setting that movie takes place in, that's just not the time and place. Kids in the 50s wouldn't be up.
Yeah.
And I think I like the end sequence. And then the next morning he wakes up thinking, okay, life's going to be back to normal. But who shows up? Doc Brown. Yep. And he's off and running again, which leads us to Back to the Future Part 2.
I like the storyline of number 2 because it has the elements of the first one.
It
interweaves with the first one.
I mean, it was interesting to see the alternate 1985.
Yeah, where Biff was in control of basically.
I'm with Cameron. I like how it interweaves with the 50s storyline from the first movie, and how Marty was manipulating events behind the scenes so that his past self would get there and be able to travel back to the future.
Yeah, it's the scene. Marty's not thinking clearly, and he's like, "Let's land on his car. We'll like crush him or something." Or Doc's response is Marty. He's in a 46 Ford with a DeLorean. He'd whip through us like we were tinfoil. Yeah.
But I like the sequence whenever Marty's on the hoverboard and he's latched onto young Biff's car and he's trying to get the book back.
Yeah.
And I think that whole scene whenever they're at the very end, Biff's going to run him over, and Doc comes in, saves him at the last minute. They burn the book, and the future's restored, But what happens to Doc?
He gets struck by lightning, and he's sent back to 1885, which leads us into Back to the Future Part 3, and how it actually brings elements from the second and the first one all into one movie.
Right.
So, and it's like what we said before. It's like not a Western, but it is a Western. But Doc's gun, how he, that was pretty cool. His gun that he, because I could tell he made it because Doc's an inventor, obviously.
It carries this style.
Yeah, and then of course, his refrigerator, which is hilarious. All of a sudden, you see like the ice cube fall, and he goes, "It's a refrigerator." And I'm like, see, like that's awesome. Doc invented the refrigerator.
And then I think probably the best scene out of the whole movie is not the fight with Mad Dog 10, it's actually the end sequence with the train. Because they're facing
impending doom.
Yeah, they're actually they're running, if you'll pardon the pun, they're running out of time and track basically. Yep. And so basically they got to get to the DeLorean. They got to push the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour, go from the train, get on the DeLorean. I think after all Doc went through, that was kind of perfect for him because he loved being in the Old West. He found somebody. He had a family. And Doc was able to reinvent the time machine in the form of a train.
Steam, and it ran on steam.
So anyway, that was our take on the Time Machine from 2002 and also the trilogy from Back to the Future. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Okay.
Losing daylight. You know, this is like a theme in our videos. Like, it'll start out kind of sunny, and then it'll almost be dark, or it will be dark by the time we finish. All right, I'm cutting it down to 6 minutes. All right.
As long as as well. Repeat.
Yes.
You know what?
Start over.
So this has been our take, and what we feel that we then this.
Okay, here, I'll start off.
You start off. Interested. So, anyways.